Today we'll start with Unit 4, that is bunkers and silo. Basically, these bunkers and silos, they are used as storage structures, material storage or material retaining structures. This comes under the category of storage structure, or we can say material retaining structure. They are used to store materials such as cement. It is very common in concrete batching plant that cements and fly ash are stored in silos. Fly ash, broken stones, and grains in agricultural industry, cereals, etc. They are also commonly known as bins. Now, depending upon their height to width ratio, they are further classified as shallow bins, which we call as bunkers, and deep bins, which are also known as silos. Now, if we draw it, these are silos, and these are bunkers, and these are silos. And if I draw a plane of rupture, at an angle, this will be your angle of recourse. And this is the plane of rupture. Then in case of bunker, let us say this is height h, and this B, width B. So in case of this bunker, the plane of the rupture crosses the surface of the material. This is the surface of the material. Before it crosses the opposite edge. This is the opposite edge or opposite face or opposite side, we can say opposite side of the bin. Okay. So here the plane of the let us draw a separate line for this angle of repose. Whereas in case of silo, this is the plane of rupture. This is the angle of repose. So, and this is the opposite edge or opposite side of the bin, and this is the surface of material. So in case of same here, this is also H, and this is B. So here, in case of bunker, the plane of rupture meets the surface of the material before it before it it strikes the opposite side of the bin. Clear? So in case of this bunker, the plane of the rupture, it hits the surface of the material before it reaches the opposite edge of opposite side of the bin. Whereas in case of silo, the plane of rupture meets the opposite edge or opposite side of the bin before it it strikes the surface of the material. Now, the angle of this rupture, plane of rupture, may be taken as 90 degree plus pi by 2. So 90 plus this 90 plus pi by 2. So we can classify the bunkers if the height is less than d times 10 90 plus pi by 2. Okay, so and here if it is h is greater than or equal to b, it is less than or equal to, it is bunker. If it is greater than this 10 90 plus pi by 2, where phi is the angle of repose. Phi is the angle of repose. Now, with this, let us start the design of bunkers. Now, if you see a typical bunker, it looks like this. Let us say this is B, this is H, H1, H2, and let us say this is H0, which is the uh, height of the bottom of the bottom hopper from the ground level. This is ground level. This height is generally provided so that the vehicle can come beneath this and this bunker can be emptied. You might have seen in batching plant that the uh, the uh, the truck can come in beneath this, and this can be loaded or unloaded easily. And keeping this height, it also facilitates cleaning of the bunkers. So this is called, this is sidewall, and this is bottom hopper. These are columns on which this bunker rests. They also facilitates cleaning of the bunker, because we can provide sufficient clearance. This is called clearance. And inside this the materials are stored. This is the angle of surcharge. Okay. So so in the design of bunkers, the 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 components which needs to be designed are: one, design of side walls, and second is design of bottom of wall. So the side walls are designed uh, for the pressure from the materials inside it, pressure from the material inside it, and for which we use the Rankine's theory. So based on Rankine theory, you can find the intensity of the pressure P is equals to Ws cos alpha, let us say this is H, into cos alpha minus square root of cos square alpha minus cos square phi divided by cos alpha plus cos square alpha minus cos square phi, where alpha is the angle of surcharge, phi is the angle of repose, now usually the bunkers are designed for usually the bunkers are designed for are designed keeping angle of surcharge equals angle of repose. So that means alpha is equals to phi. So if you substitute that, your pressure would be W into H into this pi gets cancelled, and this pi upon pi will be unity, so it would be WH times cos phi. Okay. And the horizontal component of this pressure, therefore horizontal component of this pressure will be WH cos square phi. So the side walls are designed for this much horizontal pressure, whereas the design of bottom hoppers are designed for bottom hoppers are designed for the vertical load due to self weight of the material, and B, the vertical load due to its own self weight. They are designed as inclined slabs. Okay. So with this, let us take an example and design it. So example 1. Design a bunker to store coals using as shown in figure. Using M20 grade of concrete and Fe 415 grade of steel. And the arrangement is, this is 30 degree, this is 3 meter, this is 2.5 square meter, that means it is a the square, it is the side walls are square, which is 1 meter, and this opening is 450 by 450 mm, and the height of this from this reference is 2.75 meter, and the depth of the footing is 1 meter. The size of the columns is 300 by 300. Okay. So let us solve this. Now here the arrangement is already given to you. Sometimes you may be given the capacity that you have to design the bunker for this much capacity, let us say 30 meter cube capacity, 25 meter cube capacity, and based on this capacity you have to freeze these dimensions. So as a preliminary design, you have to freeze all these dimensions and then carry out the design, and if it satisfies, then your design is okay. Make sure that the dimensions you are setting in the preliminary dimensioning, they satisfy the capacity requirement. So here the first step would be to find the capacity of the, yes
सर ये जो बंकर का शेप होगा वो सर्कुलर होगा, सॉरी स्क्वायर होगा ना?
This is square in shape. So if you see it in plan, this is, if you see it in plan, square in plan, and so the bottom hopper is also square in plan. And at the top, this is also, this heap is actually like this. like this, it would be pyramidal in shape. So you have to find the volume of this pyramidal. This is bottom open. Okay, so let us start. So first step would be to find the capacity. For which you have to find the volume occupied within this much space. You have to find the volume occupied in this much space. And you have to find the volume occupied within this much space. So we call this as V1, this as V2, and this as V3. So your V1 will be equal to 1 by 3, because it is pyramidal in shape. The volume of pyramidal would be 1 by 3 into this is 2.5 by 2.5. This is because this is square, this is 2.5, this is 2.5, and this height is you have to find it from this angle. So this would be 1.25 times 10 30. So that will be 0.72. So this will be 0.72 meter. So this height will be 0.72 meter. So you can find the volume 1 by 3 into base. Base is 2.5, width is 2.5, and height is 0.72. So that will be your volume V1. Someone just calculate this. Second volume, that will be V2, which is this is square in shape plan. So it would be 2.5 by 2.5 by 3. 2.5 by 2.5 by 3, because this is 2.5, width is 2.5, and height is 3. So it is how much is this? Someone calculate this. And your V3, which is this is actually a trapezoidal trapezium. So the volume of this will be 1 by 3 The volume of this trapezium is given by one by 3 into, let us say the area at the top be A1 and area at the bottom be A2, root of A1 A2. That will be the volume of this trapezium. This will be like this. There will be so area at the top is A1, which will be equal to this width. Let us say this is in our case this will be 2.5 by 2.5 only. 2.5 by 2.5, that is the area at the top, and let the area at the bottom be A2, which will be 450 by 450, means 0.45 by 0.45. So here this will be area A1 will be 2.5 square, 2.5 by 2.5, plus area at the bottom, that will be 0.45 square, plus A1 square root of A1 into A2 will be 2.5 square into 0.45 square. Yeah. So how much is this value? So from this you will get the total volume of the material stored. How much is this?
1.5.
It is 1.5 meter cube.
18.75.
18.75. And this one it is 2 point it is 2.53. So the total would be 22.78 meter cube. Now the density of the coal, which might be given to you in the data, unit weight of coal is equals to 9 kilonewton per meter cube, or 9,000 Newton per meter cube. That might be given to you. If not, then you have to assume that unit weight of coal material is is equals to 9 kilonewton per meter. So you can find the total weight of the material. Therefore, total weight of material stored will be equal to 9 into 22.78. That will be 205.02 kilonewton. So this much vertical load is acting. So if you remove this material, this bunker will be subjected to total vertical load of 205.02 kilonewton. Okay. Now along with this, there will be a side pressure also, which is due to the material stored inside the side walls. So let us design the side walls. Here, surcharge angle of surcharge alpha is equals to 30 degree, and assume alpha is equals to 5. So your pressure intensity or the horizontal pressure intensity pH will be equal to WH cos square phi or cos square alpha. So that will be W. W is 9 and your H is 3 meter. This is H. For now we will call this as H and this as B, and you can also make sure that here H by B is equals to 3 by 2.5, which is equal to 1.25 1.2, and if you find 10 90 plus 5 by 2, this will be equal to 1.732. So this is less than 1.732. Okay, so this is designed, this is okay as far as the dimensions are concerned, and it is designed as bunker. So this is P, horizontal pressure intensity is equal to the unit weight times the height times cos square phi. So this will be 20.25 kilonewton per meter. Per meter square. Now this much horizontal pressure will be acting on the side walls. So now we'll 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 find the bending moment on this side wall. So for that we will use the center line of these walls, or we can say this is the support line. These walls are actually 150 mm thick. That we will later will see it in the design part. But the columns are of 300 by 300. So these columns are of 300 by 300. So you have to find the center line of this, because they are the support for these walls. So this will be your center line. So the effective span will be, this is 2.5, this is 2.5 meter. So effective span will be 2.5 plus, this is 300 by 300, 0.3 by 0.3. This is also 0.3 by 0.3. So it will be 0.3 by 2 plus 0.3 by 2. So it will be 2.8 meter center to center. So the effective span for this will be is equals to 2.5 plus 0.3 by 2, 0.3 by 2, that is 2.8 meter. So now you can find the bending moment. Or the maximum bending moment. Consider this as a as fixed at the support location. So it would be like this. This is like consider at support location it is fixed. The intensity of this pressure line is 20.25 kilonewton per meter square. We are taking this 1 meter width. Okay. So this pressure unit is uniformly acting on for 1 meter width, and this is your 2.8 meter effective span. So your bending moment will be W L square by 12. So that is 20.25 into 2.8 square by 12. So how much is this? It is 13.23 kilonewton meter. This is for 1 meter width. Okay, this is per meter width of sidewall, per meter width of sidewall. Okay, we are taking this as 1 meter width. Okay. So you have the bending moment. Next we'll find the tension in the walls, because these pressure on opposite side walls will cause tension in these, and these two uh, pressures will cause tension in these two walls. So we have to find the tension also. These walls are actually subjected to bending moment, which will try to bend these walls like this, and they will also be subjected to tensile force. So these walls are designed for both bending as well as tension. So we stop here. In the next class, we'll find this tensile force, and then we'll carry out the design of side walls. Any doubt in this? Any doubt?
सर ये जो वॉल्यूम फाइंड किया ना पिरामिड शेप का,
Yes.
वॉल्यूम V1,
हाँ.
उसके अंदर जो हाइट फाइंड किया ना, वो हाइट का क्या